As Russia continues its attacks on Ukraine, Ukraine has made its first attack on Russian territory. What the move could mean for peace talks moving forward. Also, the teen charged in the shooting death of another teen in Beloit could soon be in Wisconsin police custody after waiving his right to an extradition hearing in Michigan. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. New at noon, Michigan officials say Amory Goodall has waived his right to an extradition hearing. The 19-year-old Goodall is charged in connection with a deadly shooting outside of Beloit High School back in January. 19-year-old Jean Broomfield was killed in the incident. Goodall was arrested in Holland, Michigan earlier this week. It's unclear when Goodall will be extradited to Wisconsin. U.S. officials say Ukraine attacked an oil depot inside Russian territory. It's the first confirmation that Ukrainian forces have crossed the border to attack. Deborah Alfarone has the latest.
Firefighters are battling a blaze at a fuel depot inside Russian territory. Russia claims 2 Ukrainian helicopters attacked it overnight, and a Kremlin official is warning it could impact virtual peace negotiations underway today. This comes as Russian forces continue to pound Ukrainian cities, killing civilians. Despite Russian claims of reducing military activity, Ukrainian officials say in Mariupol, Russia is blocking food and medical supplies from getting in and preventing refugees from getting out.
We are running out of adjectives to describe the horrors that residents in Mariupol have suffered. The situation is horrendous and deteriorating. It's now a humanitarian imperative that people be allowed to leave and aid supplies be allowed in.
Following reports that Vladimir Putin's advisors may have misled him about Russia's war progress, President Biden says it appears he may be self-isolating.
And there's some indication that he has fired or put under house arrest some of his advisors. But I don't want to put too much stock in that at this time because we don't have that much hard evidence.
Russian forces have left the Chernobyl nuclear site, and the representatives from the UN Nuclear Watchdog Organization are headed there now. They say the general radiation level around the decommissioned power plant is normal. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
And President Putin told European countries buying Russian gas that starting today they must pay in rubles or their supply will be cut off. European countries cautiously insisted they'll continue to pay with euros and dollars. The United Nations says poverty has reached a breaking point in Afghanistan, and some parents are taking drastic steps out of desperation. Humanitarian aid is on the way, but the UN says it's not coming fast enough for the 9 million on the brink of starvation. Officials say some have turned to selling their body parts, like kidneys or even their children, to put food on the table. After years of drought and the war in the Ukraine driving up grain prices, it's estimated 95% of Afghans don't have enough to eat. The U.S. has pledged another $204 million in aid to the country to help humanitarian efforts. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at our first warm forecast, and we're not done with the snow yet.
We are not. We still have more chances for it, but in the meantime, a lot of the snow is melting out there. We've got sunshine. A Doppler track is quiet as well, but it's another system that's going to be developing in due time that brings us more of a chance for snow. It's 37 outside right now. The wind chill 1 degree above freezing at 33. We warm up to 44 this afternoon, and we will keep the sunshine going all afternoon long. We stay dry, but our snow chances do increase. Snow's going to be expected by the time we get you towards parts of tomorrow morning into Saturday, mixed with rain too, and then those chances begin to come down. But I'll tell you what, here's your weekend forecast. Snow to rain on Saturday, sunshine early on Sunday before we end up with more rain late. Mark, we break this down in greater detail coming up.
Spring is not springing.
Not yet.
It's sprung.
Not yet.
All right, Chris. We'll check back in a few minutes. A Sheboygan Falls child is in critical condition after being allegedly assaulted by his mother. According to police, the father and another 10-year-old child were home during the assault. The father calling 911 and performing life-saving measures on the 8-year-old. He was brought to Children's Hospital in Milwaukee. No names have been released.
We just would like to give, prayers and privacy to the family at this point. And we know that the child's in really good hands down at Children's Hospital.
Sheboygan Falls police say the mother was brought to the hospital to be medically treated for self-inflicted wounds. They say she'll be taken into custody when she's medically cleared. Police are considering assault charges. While most of America is lifting COVID restrictions, one of the world's largest cities is back in lockdown. Shanghai, home to about 25 million people, is largely at a standstill today as China battles its worst wave of COVID since the start of the pandemic. Residents have been barricaded in their homes, only allowed out for COVID testing and basic necessities. Frustration is also growing over panic buying and persistent food shortages.
I think there are a lot of people in Shanghai who are saying, right now the medicine is worse than the disease. We have people who are dying because they can't get access to medical care. How many people have actually died from this recent surge of COVID? And the government has told us 0.
It's unclear how long the lockdown will last, but residents are bracing for weeks of home confinement. COVID-19's grip on the U.S. is shrinking. Just over 16,000 people are currently hospitalized with the virus. That's the lowest number since the start of the pandemic. The Department of Health and Human Services says the number of COVID patients in the ICU are decreasing as well. Despite the drop in these hospitalizations, officials say many hospitals are still stressed, partly because of staffing issues. Well, starting today, you can vote for your favorite local businesses for consideration for Best of Madison 2022. This is the second round of Best of Madison. Unlike round 1, in round 2 of final voting, you'll only be able to vote once per category. Those in Dane County and the counties surrounding it can all vote. To vote, go to channel3000.com. The voting runs until April 30th. Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo is continuing his Hall of Fame career by setting another record. During last night's game against the Brooklyn Nets, the Greek Freak passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the Milwaukee Bucks all-time scoring leader. Abdul-Jabbar's record was 14,211 points, which Giannis passed in the fourth quarter of last night's game. The Bucks took down the Nets 120-119 in overtime, and with the win, the Bucks also clinched their place in the playoffs. Quite an accomplishment. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon.
The labor market goes from I resign to you're hired, and it's a no-go for guests if the home scent's not fresh. I'm Diane King Hall at the CBS Broadcast Center. I'll have those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Spring Semi-Annual Sale is happening right now. For a limited time only, save up to 40% off clearance and special buy appliances. Plus, pay no interest for 12 months. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart, inside Ashley off the Beltline at East Springs Drive.
$1 million worth of the best hot tubs in Madison are at Leisure Concepts. And right now, get immediate free delivery, free ozone system, cover lift, matching entry steps, supplies, and training. Our showroom is packed with brand new hot tubs for immediate delivery. We're including everything you need and all at a great low spring price. Leisure Concepts is open 7 days a week. Stop into our packed showroom in Madison on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission products. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we do better when our clients do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison 2022. Vote for your favorites online, including A Healer's Hand in the Nest, Best Specialty Spa in Pregnancy and Postpartum Massage. Vote A Healer's Hand in the Nest today at madisonmagazine.com.
Sunroom savings season is here. Four Seasons has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 20 to 30%. Everything from decks and pergolas to screen rooms, porch conversions, patio rooms, sunrooms, and our new life room with retractable screens are on sale now. Let CoolView show you how to tame your backyard and improve your lifestyle. Call for a free backyard survey, design, and quote.
Get a new view from CoolView.
Creating family memories is what Maple Leaf Landscaping is all about. We design and build outdoor spaces that bring people together. Landscaped spaces for any size family. Functional, beautiful, a place everyone will enjoy. And it all starts with a free visit at your home by one of our landscape experts. So call Maple Leaf Landscaping today and have us create an outdoor living space for your home.
Ashley's Spring Semi-Annual Sale is happening now. Spruce up this season with store-wide furniture savings. For a limited time, discounts up to 54% off. Plus, get an additional 10% off and pay no interest for 36 months. It's the Spring Semi-Annual Sale, only at Ashley.
Hiring ramped up in March. According to the Labor Department, employers added 431,000 jobs last month. That marks the 15th month in a row of job gains. Hiring in leisure and hospitality led the gains, and the nation's unemployment rate now stands at 3.6%. Drugstore chains across the U.S. are now offering second booster shots. CVS and Walgreens say they are making the shots available to people ages 50 and up, along with certain immunocompromised people. Individuals who got their first COVID-19 booster at least 4 months ago can schedule a new shot starting today. More than 3/4 of Americans say inflation is hitting hard at home. That's according to a new report from Salary Finance. And for many households, inflation is forcing them to stretch their dollar even further. About 20% of employees regularly run out of money between paychecks, and 1/4 of people say it's hard to afford necessities. And PU, what's that smell? According to a new OnePoll survey, 69% of Americans said they worry that guests think their home stinks. 3 in 4 Americans say that the way someone's home smells leaves a lasting impression, and 61% would hold off on hosting if the atmosphere isn't ready. Among the worst odoriferous offenders, smoke and sink water. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thanks, Diane. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 108 points. The NASDAQ off 72. The S&P 500 down 15. Well, there's a nationwide recall for a pair of Suave 24-hour antiperspirants. They are Suave 24-hour protection aerosol antiperspirant powder and the Suave 24-hour protection aerosol antiperspirant fresh. According to the FDA, slight levels of benzene were found in some samples. Exposure to benzene could lead to health problems, including blood cancer and leukemia. The Suave antiperspirant products were discontinued late last year due to the economic issues, but were available in retail stores and online. Samsung is giving its customers the ability to repair their own smartphones. Responding to market demand, the new program even offers visual step-by-step repair guides. Owners of Galaxy devices will have access to genuine parts and repair tools for the first time. And it'll also apply to third-party fix-it companies, moving away from the monopoly currently held by Samsung's in-house repair service. Well, coming up, your daily ag numbers from the Midwest Farm Report, plus a new bill that could make daylight saving time permanent. But sleep experts say the change could be bad for your health. And what does the first weekend of April have in store for us? We'll find out from Chris Reese with a complete forecast when we come back.
It's time for a brighter view. Let the sun shine in with 2-for-1 windows from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
2-for-1 windows from Feldco ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Does anyone really remember who comes in second? No, they don't. That's why you've got to put it all out there and be relentless. Because to be the best, you have to elevate your game. Hy-Vee took breakfast to a whole new level with new items made fresh to order. So when it comes to the best breakfast around, they know fresh.
And here's a simple takeaway. If you think you can find any better, then you don't know Hy-Vee and you don't know Jack.
Everything seems to be more expensive these days. Everything costs more. Ron Johnson should be helping families like us, but he seems to have helped himself instead. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. He's doubled his wealth since taking office. It doesn't seem fair to me. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
What
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Saturday morning, it's no secret plane tickets and gas prices are on the rise, but travel is costing more in other areas you may not expect. Plus, more chances for rain and snow this weekend. Julian is tracking your weather Saturday morning.
News 3 Now is always on.
Download the Channel 3000 app and we will send you local breaking news as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is out of the radio barn today. She'll be back with us next Tuesday. Here are your farm numbers. Legislation would make year-round daylight saving time permanent, which means many of us would be heading to school and work in the dark and seeing more daylight later in the day. But sleep experts say it's actually bad for our overall health and safety. Laura Podesta has more on what doctors recommend is a better option.
Many of us have strong opinions on making the adjustment when the clocks fall back or spring forward.
People just don't want darkness when they go to come back from work. It just doesn't make sense.
I like that it's not going to be dark anymore because I can go out. I feel like I won't be as tired.
Losing an hour and a half in some parts of the country because of daylight.
A bill making daylight saving time permanent is gaining steam with lawmakers. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine agrees with eliminating seasonal time changes, but instead recommends year-round permanent standard time, which gives us more light in the morning and less at night, aligning more with our body's internal clock.
If we go on to permanent daylight saving time, then in the winter months, the sun will not be rising until well later than it currently is. So in some places, well after 8 a.m. That's going to make it very difficult for people to wake up and to function.
The U.S. tried permanent daylight saving time before. Congress passed a law in the early 1970s implementing it for 2 years. But Americans didn't like it, and it was repealed. Data shows there are significant health and safety risks when we spring forward an hour in March, including more vehicle crashes, mood disorders, and increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. Dr. Lisa Meltzer is with National Jewish Health.
With our cardiac rhythms and our health, those are certainly impacted when our rhythms get off and when we're not getting enough sleep.
Dr. Meltzer warns that longer days and lighter afternoons might be enticing, but must be weighed against the negative impacts of getting up in the dark. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
If the House passes the Sunshine Protection Act bill and President Biden signs it, it would take effect in 2023. We'll take a look at this. A beautiful scene from the sky in western Mexico with thousands of fabrics hanging in the streets. It's called a woven sky, and this one is said to be the largest in the world. About 200 people worked on the project that started in 2017. That is spectacular. Here's Chris Reese now with a weekend forecast. Not very springy.
Not very springy, but we're going to start to warm things up as we look throughout this forecast. Take a look behind me. Sunshine. Oh my goodness, doesn't that feel nice? Especially compared to the clouds, the wind that we had yesterday as well, the temperatures that never warmed up. Out of the mid-30s. It's 37 right now. The wind chill's still into the lower 30s, but we're going to continue to warm things up closer to the 40s, perhaps mid-40s for those highs as we start to move towards this afternoon, and that is going to feel good, my friends. Doppler track still quiet for us. We had some flurries closer to the Fox River earlier today. Those have since moved out of the picture as well. But you see our next system already sneaking into western Minnesota. That's going to be moving in overnight tonight. Bring it with it. Chances for some snow. Let's go ahead and take a look at things. 4 o'clock. Our temperatures are going to be into the middle 40s. Here comes that cloud cover overnight. Temperatures dropping down into the lower 30s. Uh-oh, cheerio. Here we go. It's tomorrow. More snow is moving into the picture, and it may come down at a good enough clip that we actually once again put slushy accumulation on the ground. This is not an April Fool's joke. This is the truth. This is what we're going to be dealing with as we go through tomorrow. I'm optimistic, though, that with the sun being up, we'll be just warm enough that we can get some rain to mix in with things for those of you who don't like snow and you're just done with that coming down. Still, into the afternoon, as that deeper moisture moves away, we should at least get some rain showers as things begin to wrap up. So whatever snow sticks, it'll start to clear out and melt fairly quickly. We will see sunshine to start off your Sunday, but then the next system starts to arrive by Sunday afternoon. Guess what that brings with it? More chances to see some raindrops around here. Another system moves our way by the middle of the week with more chances for raindrops. Maybe even some snowflakes can't be ruled out by the end of that one towards the end of next week as well. We've got multiple models all showing you that same idea, that same picture. So we're going into an active pattern, but yes, I will admit the reality of this next pattern is it is a little ugly. It's a little cold. Lots of cold rain events coming through, lots of potential to see snowflakes with each of these rain systems moving through as well. If you've lived in Wisconsin any decent amount of time, you know that we deal with this every year. This is totally normal. Here's what we're looking at with the upper air pattern. We see that the air has moderated for this time of the year, but the reality is the true warmth holds back to the west. We are still somewhat in that cooler regime overall. That leads to warmer than normal temperatures expected across the desert southwest. Meanwhile, for the eastern part of the country, including parts of Wisconsin, we are more likely to feature normal or just below normal temperatures rather than being warmer than normal. That being said, don't be surprised if we end up with maybe an inch or two of some slushy snow tomorrow. We might get a little accumulation of snow on Monday too. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's rain, but flurry chances will exist each of those nights as well.
You're not fooling.
I am not fooling.
I wish you were.
I'm sure a lot of people do, Mark, but that's just the reality of what we're dealing with right now.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Chris. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Howard has an all-purpose recipe in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today's recipe can be served as a side dish, an appetizer, a tasty pizza, or maybe all three. You decide.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save big on gas Friday, April 1st during Hy-Vee's annual April Fuels Day sale. Earn a 50-cent fuel saver for every $50 purchase. Spend $100, get $1 off per gallon of gas. Friday, April 1st, only at Hy-Vee.
Inflation has surged to a 40-year high. Democrats declared war on fossil fuels, so gasoline prices are at record levels. President Obama's chief economist says inflation is costing your family $4,000 a year. Why? Because Democrats are printing trillions of dollars to pay for their massive deficit spending. Inflation is the Democrats' tax on the middle class. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message because I'm concerned about rising prices just like you.
Rising prices have hit us all pretty hard, especially utility bills. Here's how USA Insulation can help. When we wrap your home in our foam, it keeps your expensive warm air from leaking out, just like an insulated coffee mug. And with our low monthly payment plans, you can use your energy savings to help pay for it. Imagine a more comfortable home that saves you money. Call now and get a $500 discount on whole home insulation.
USA Insulation.
My mom was a bank teller, but her hands were so crippled by arthritis she could no longer do her job. She applied for Social Security disability benefits. Like most people, my mom was denied. I'm attorney Don Becker. Don't be embarrassed and don't give up. My mom appealed. You can too. Disability law is all we do.
Call the Becker Law Office, 608-640-3868.
More Americans are growing their own vegetables than ever before. At Garden Mats, we're here to help people supplement their food supply with fresh, organic vegetables. Whether you are a beginner, novice, or master gardener, Garden Mats make gardening a breeze. Spend your summers trying to keep up with each other, not your weeds. Go to gardenmats.com and plan your garden today.
Save big on gas Friday, April 1st during Hy-Vee's annual April Fuels Day sale. Earn a 50-cent fuel saver for every $50 purchase. Spend $100, get $1 off per gallon of gas. Friday, April 1st, only at Hy-Vee.
It's not often that one dish can fit into so many mealtime categories. After I show you what we're making today, I'd be curious if you think of it more as a side dish, an appetizer, or a pizza. One thing I know, no matter how you serve it, it's downright awesome. So here's what we do. We start off by unrolling a refrigerated pie crust and placing it on a baking or pizza pan. While that rests for a minute, we saute some chopped green pepper and a slivered onion in a bit of Caesar salad dressing, just until they're tender. Once they are, we turn off the heat and add some fresh spinach, cherry tomatoes that we've cut in half, some pitted Greek-style olives, a bit of crumbled feta, a touch of black pepper, and a little more Caesar salad dressing. Now we toss this together and spoon it onto our dough before folding the edges over, creating what looks like a rustic pie. Once it's baked and the crust is golden, it's ready to cut into wedges and serve. The only question is, do you serve this as a side dish, an appetizer, or a fresh from the garden pizza? No matter how you want to serve it, go online and get the recipe for our rustic veggie pie so you can see what your gang thinks this should be. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tasty, fresh way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Here's Chris now with the final check of your forecast.
Yeah, we continue to see that sunshine out there today. Enjoy that. Cloud cover streams in overnight. This means tomorrow you're waking up with rain and snow. It'll end as rain overall, but we could see some additional couple inches of slush out there. That'll melt on Sunday. We could see more snow on Monday and then more rain as we go throughout much of next week. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s, perhaps by next Sunday. So we've got a lot going on right now.
And as you said in the main,
unusual for this time of the year at all, and the reality is we've dealt with this every year. March averages 13 inches of snow, believe it or I'm sorry, 7 inches of snow, believe it or not. And then April still averages a couple inches of snow, Mark. So this is something that we deal with every single year, but it is nice for a lot of folks when spring comes a little early, but that's just not been the case.
And as we mentioned all along, we are still in a drought, and any moisture is helpful.
Yep, sure is. In fact, the drought update that came out yesterday, it didn't include Wednesday and Thursday's rain, but we are now out of severe drought and in moderate drought. So what we get next week will be very beneficial. We'll see what happens at that drought update as well.
It's nice when it comes gradually rather than all at once in the winter when the ground is still frozen and it just goes right down the drain.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.